episode of Driving with Jonny. I'm Jonny, and according to the internet, the Lamborghini Temerario sucks. Even though they haven't driven it, they just know. They looked at pictures, they heard a video of the sound, totally sucks, total misfire, Huracan's better. Funny thing is about the internet, there's all kinds of stuff on there which isn't true. I'm in the unique position of, I just drove this car, and let me tell you, and again, I'm a big Huracan guy, dang. So first of all, over 900 horsepower. As far as the looks go, I think it actually looks pretty damn good. The only thing I'm not crazy about are these hexagonal daytime running lights. I asked Mitja Bokert about that, why are they so big, and it was some kind of like legal thing. They have to throw off so much light. He said if you stare at them, he wanted to look like the landing bay on the Death Star. Hey, why not? As far as the sound goes, it's a flat plane crank V8, so it's got that sound. The turbos actually don't mute it that much. I don't know really how it sounds from inside the car because we had to wear helmets, and of course helmets muffle everything. What we're gonna do is we're gonna show you some of the on-track nonsense we got up to. And well, you know, if you care about things like performance and having fun, stopping power, handling, stuff like that, this just absolutely slaughters the Huracan. If you wanna be the loudest car at Cars and Coffee, this thing absolutely sucks.
Driving with Jonny!
So my first question to you, what happened to Dr. Crazy Official? When I met you at Lambo, you were Dr. Crazy.
Yeah.
And then you get the big job and you're not Dr. Crazy.
No, I'm still the same guy.
You're still
The only thing, I have no time anymore, you know. Now I have to do all these nice things that I like a lot, but it costs a little bit of time. So
Right. So Temerario.
Yeah. But
Big overview.
The pronunciation was fantastic. Yeah?
Oh,
Temerario,
you know,
yeah.
Italian's my 19th language. So
Okay.
19th language I can't speak very well. What's the big message here with this car?
And the big message is for sure, first of all, it's an entire new car. So we have a four-wheel drive system with an electric front axle, 2 electric motors on the front for torque vectoring functionalities. We have a double clutch gearbox, and this is for sure completely new, we have the first time in this range is a success of the Huracan. We have a V8 twin turbo engine combined with an additional electric motor.
Okay. And so total power output you're saying is 920 metric horsepower, so it's like 907 American horsepower, something like that.
Yeah.
So over 900.
Yeah.
And it competes with, like, let's say the 296, which is 818 horsepower. So it's just like much more power. And then also compared to the Huracan, like the torque is just, it's almost double.
Yeah,
sort of, right?
I mean, to be honest, we really wanted to go the next level of performance step because everyone loved, me too, the Huracan, the V10 was a super iconic engine, but it was at its limit regarding the performance potential. So it was more or less needed to go the next step. And it's clear we wanted to go not only a half a step, then we want to go a real step.
Is this too close in performance to the Revuelto? Because I've driven them both now.
Yeah.
And they're 100 horsepower away from each other.
I have to say, from the pure performance figures, it's very close to the Revuelto, even if the Revuelto is still a little bit on top. But on this, I think it's the major difference. The character of the car is different because the Revuelto lives much more from the fantastic natural aspirated V12. This car it feels more compact, it's more a shorter sports car, and with a V8 twin turbo engine that is revving up to 10,000 RPM, also very emotional, but let me say more the car that is more playful. So I think the differentiation of the car, independently from the performance, is mainly related to their character.
To me, after driving it a little bit, biggest change from the Huracan to the Temerario, besides the torque, which I think is a real obvious one, the braking performance seems it never faded. It stayed the same lap after lap after lap. So what's different? What's going on with the brakes?
I mean, this is a good point because on this I have to say we spent also a lot of effort and we're quite proud on it because first of all, if I start with your question, what is different? Everything is different. So the brake,
Good answer.
The brake disc size is much bigger. We have now a 10-piston caliper on the front axle, so the hardware is different. The cooling concept is different. We have here very specific air channels where the air can enter to cool the brake discs and the calipers. But from the feeling point of view, we have here also a brake-by-wire system. So we have brake blending, we have a different kind of brake booster, and we worked a lot that the pressure point is always the same and is not spongy, because sometimes you feel a difference from the brake blending. This I hate, and it's nothing that is good for a sports car.
Right, and that happens when you don't have brake-by-wire, when you're lapping and like the fluid's just getting hotter and hotter, you just get a longer and longer pedal.
Exactly.
And it's sometimes very surprising.
Yeah, sometimes it's...
So this makes it like the same. Yeah. Okay, great. One thing when we gave the tech presentation that was interesting was, and you wouldn't think this, but like on the straights, once you're kind of, the wheel is sort of straight, these motors are effectively off. Maybe they're giving a little bit of torque just to keep the steering feel.
Exactly, the
steering. But you're on the rear axle going straight.
Exactly. I mean, in general, we are never decoupling the front axle, not like other manufacturers. We have the front axle is always coupled, but for sure the application of the torque is different. And for the straight line, you need a little bit torque also for the straightening of the car and also for the steering feeling, like you said.
Yeah.
But in general, this car is more a two-wheel drive biased car. So we always make prioritization to the rear axle. This is also different from the Revuelto, for instance. In the Revuelto, we want to have more neutral car, a fast and easy to drive neutral car. This car is more the playful car, and we want to have a little bit more rotation in the car.
I noticed it's very eager, especially like second gear corners. It's real eager to kind of rotate.
Yeah, exactly. The car even encourages you to a bit more, you know? Okay.
You would think if you have, a bunch of horsepower on the front axle, you'd use it in a straight line, but like this doesn't even need it. Yeah. You need that just for getting off the corner. Yeah. The turbo strategy with the E-motor in the back. Yeah. These are, 70, 75 millimeter turbos, like very large for a car. Really, they look like truck turbos. Yeah. They're not doing much below 4,000 RPM. Yeah. But the throttle feels linear. Yeah. It doesn't feel like lag. Yeah. How are you guys accomplishing that?
This is exactly why I'm always trying to make advertising that the entire engine concept is only working with a hybridization. It's only possible because we have an electric motor directly connected to the crank, an axial flux machine with a high torque, and this electric motor makes, let me say, the part below 4,000 it's a kind of torque fitting, and on top it manages the transient behavior. So if the reactiveness, if you go on throttle, off throttle, and only based on this it was possible to have a turbocharged engine that is able to rev 10,000. Because you can imagine 4 liter at between 9 and 10, how much air you need. You need a lot of air to fill up the engine. Sure. Therefore, you need turbochargers like this.
It's interesting, like peak power is 9,000, yet it keeps on revving to 10. So it sort of like has like a very high plateau.
Exactly.
Which is unique.
Yeah, it's unique. It's unique, because this gives you the feeling that you have still, let me say, that still something is going on top, because in a classical turbo engine with a classical layout, you have also plateau but much lower revs. Yeah. It simply doesn't make sense to rev it up because then you have a dropping of the power and the torque. Right. It's, for instance, I give you one example. I mean, a diesel engine, for instance, you would not rev up. It simply doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It was an interesting experience because you could feel like you're not accelerating any faster, but the engine note is still changing.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is unique because normally you just get to the top of power band and that's it. Yeah. And this was like you got there and then.
Yeah. So. And this is the spice regarding the emotions that we want to give to this character.
Right. Cool. All right. Well, Dr. Crazy.
Always a pleasure.
As always. Yeah.
See you. See you in Monterey.
Seeing the Temerario in so many colors really helped me to digest the design, especially the rear end. First of all, how Countach is that? Bit of Batman's tumbler mixed with some Centenario too. I love it. And the angle also helps. The lower to the ground you get, the better the car's haunches appear. I was an early critic of the Temerario's looks, but I'm realizing that I saw it last year at the Quail in a dull color on a packed stage where I was quite literally looking down on it. It looks much better at a racetrack. Back at Estoril, which used to be an F1 track before all of you Drive to Survive fans were born. These days, the track is used for both winter testing and car launches. I'm lucky enough to have driven a number of cars here, including the BMW M8, the Lamborghini SVJ, a Porsche 911 Cup car, and a Porsche GT3R. The Temerario has more power than all of them, which makes Turn 5 a kink where the Brave can go flat out even more fun. The long straight is also a blast. I hit 177 miles per hour driving the SVJ. The new Baby Bull, much faster. Car is just rapid car. And again, easy to drive, which, and I always say this, despite what keyboard warriors have to say, is a good thing, because then you can drive it really fast, and that's fun. And whoa, car should be fun, like that. All right, yeah, 260 kilometers an hour on the back straight. Ridiculous. Double apexer. Double late apexer. Open her up. Grab third gear. Okay. Oh, yeah. Fun car to drive. So, doesn't necessarily feel all-wheel drive. It's basically like all-wheel drive out of the corners. Rotates, loves to rotate. Chassis loves to rotate. Okay, second gear for Ayrton Senna. Okay, so we're hanging at like 7,000 RPM. When we see the exit, straighten that wheel. 8,000, 9,000, shift gear. Onto the straight, shifting at 9,800, shifting at 9,500. Just so quick, but so controllable, and such good brakes, and like, boom, we're back on it. The Temerario has a 3-position drift mode, but I can't really comment on it, because even though I spent over a year of my life in Great Britain, I'm literally terrible at drifting. Like, hopeless. The worst. Period. Wrapping this one up, been a very good day of driving. Temerario is just a legit, I mean, talk about blurring the line between a supercar and a hypercar. You know, if the SVJ was a hypercar, and I'm not sure that it was, but if it was, this blows it out of the water in terms of acceleration, in terms of, you know, just rapidness. Again, like, just wild, cool, killer thing. I love the powertrain. You really don't even notice that the front motors are there, and the handling, it's very playful. Everyone at Lamborghini was like chomping at the bit, like just so they wanted to tell me about the upcoming models. I learned that they've taken this engine and put it on a test bench, and they've already gotten like 1,000 horsepower out of it. I'm not sure if that's with the electric motor or not, but it's 789 the way it sits right now, and another 200 horsepower, we'll take it, you know? Why not? As far as design goes, it is much better in person. It's much better than that blue one at the Quail. Rear end, you know, it's a lot of Countach, a lot of Centenario, which I really like. It's one of my favorite Lamborghinis I've ever driven. This is also up there. I'm thoroughly impressed. But of course, if you listen to the internet, this is the worst car ever. It has no soul. Lamborghini has lost it. No one's gonna buy these, etc., etc. If you live in the real world where you trust people who have driven a car and say it's, you know, you should buy one because it drives real well, this could be your next Lambo. Only thing I'm a little hesitant about is the price. This is the Allegerita package, which adds 50 grand for much more stability and downforce and all that, but 50 grand for basically some body work and pulling 55 pounds out of the car. Ozempic, dude, save some cash. But anyways, the price is high. I mean, the one you're looking at now is about $450,000. But again, what does a 296 cost? It's in that neighborhood. So, in conclusion, nice things cost too much money. This car is frigging awesome. I had a blast driving it. Can't wait to get in LA, take it up in the canyons. Until then, as always, thank you for watching another episode of Driving with Jonny. Like the video if you like it. Leave me a comment either way. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Go do everything. And we will see you next week with another brand new episode of Driving with Jonny.